There's simply no denying that America is now completely divided. When I first watched Dunkirk, it struck me how readily these soldiers, who were just strangers, were willing to fight for each other to the very end, simply because they were united through their country and a common cause. We don't share that in America anymore. Name any major news story in the last 20 years. The country will predictably split up into two camps and basically form opposite opinions about it. Now, the old America has been so viciously attacked and mocked and twisted that it's almost hard to think of it without some version of a Norman Rockwell painting flashing through your head. But at one point in America, there was a shared experience between people of what it was like to be an American. There was 3 TV channels. When a show was on, you either watched it or you missed it. There wasn't DVRs or TiVos or YouTube. Take a show like Dukes of Hazzard. 18 to 20 million people watched it every week it was on. Now take Breaking Bad, which got between 1.5 and 2 million views a week. On the night that Frank Sinatra died, the country was watching the series finale of Seinfeld. The ambulance actually made record time taking him to the hospital because of how empty the streets were. 76.3 million people were watching that final episode. But today, we live in a fragmented society of strangers and no shared experience of what it means to be an American. One person watches anime and plays Dark Souls, while another watches Fox News and works on his project car. There is no common America. This division is perfectly illustrated by COVID, which, compared to other obstacles that this country has had to face, is relatively tame. For the old America, this would have been a walk in the park. For the new America, with all its shiny new retarded principles and methods, this little virus has been rough on the country because of how the two countries clash. And this country isn't even that old. The U.S. was an entirely different country at a fundamental level as late as 2005. And while the progressive ideology was always present, the invention of the smartphone installed those mental parasites in the mind of a huge number of people in as short as 10 years. Ideas such as political correctness, class warfare, social justice, the spectrum of gender, the importance of diversity, the idea that the uniqueness of self is the highest possible good, while rejecting the idea that any self-improvement or hard work is necessary. It's basically a rejection of the West and of the Enlightenment. Let's just take that last point, that being you and being unique and self-expression is the most important part of life. That's a lie, and it was put on steroids by social media. They've pandered to that narcissistic idea and they've weaponized it. My generation, the millennials, bought this messaging hook, line, and sinker. And is it any surprise when we've turned out to be a generation of largely anxiety and depression-filled losers? Because we were told we were amazing. We're unique. Just be yourself. You can be anything you want to be. And now that 10 years have passed and we're in our 30s with nothing to show for it, while boomers and Gen X have continued to be successful with the old country's mindset, is it any wonder that millennials overwhelmingly believe in the class warfare narrative? They believe it's the old country that's broken, not their newly empowered entitlement mindset. This explains how people can speak truth to power, to believe that they're unique and have controversial beliefs, while their narcissism blinds them to the fact that they share all these beliefs in lockstep with all of the institutions in power in the entire country, and sounding like a program member of the Borg while at it. The new country is not a serious country. It's not based on pragmatism or values or growth of the country or competition with other countries. It's about the ends justifying the means of social justice and whittling everyone in the country down a notch. It's not based on human psychology. It's not based on history. Those things are for the old country. This new country is going to set all of the old country's wrongs right. That's what it's about. But you can't run a country this way. You can't prop up kids like Greta Thunberg or Desmond the Amazing as role models and stay a top country. You just can't.
It's 2018. There's going to be drag kids in the world. And I'm one of them.
And as the new America takes over, the narrative that our country being the greatest one is simply running on fumes at this point, on values that the old America was using. You think China is scared of a future America in which Desmond the Amazing has any pull in any part of our society? Look at what they're doing in China right now. I understand it's a hellhole to live in, but they are in absolute takeover mode. They are a serious country that is serious about getting stuff done. They pop up buildings and hospitals like it's nothing. Look at how they train their kids. We don't stand a chance against these people in the future with the kids that we're raising now. All I will say is this: a vote for Joe Biden or members of the new America that run for office should come with a free subscription to Rosetta Stone, because we're going to need to learn Mandarin, and soon. That's all I've got for today. Hopefully this video gives you another perspective on the state of the country that maybe you've never heard before. And if you like it, and even if you don't, consider liking it or subscribing to my channel. See y'all in the next video. Peace.